Hello everyone, Fay Explorer here. I'm so excited to share my experiences, my journeys, my trips, my tricks and my tips. And in today's video, I'm taking us through family sponsorship visa in Canada. Key points about the program, eligibility, requirements and application process. In Canada, a family sponsorship visa refers to a program that allows Canadian citizens and permanent residents to sponsor close family members to come and live in Canada as permanent residents. The purpose of this program is to reunite families and promote family unity. This visa program that allows Canadian citizens and permanent residents to sponsor their family members to come and live in Canada is officially known as Family Class Sponsorship Program. This program falls under the broader category of family unification initiatives facilitated by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC. The Family Class Sponsorship Program enables eligible sponsors to bring their spouses, common law partners, conjugal partners, dependent children, parents, and grandparents to Canada as permanent residents. It reflects Canada's commitment to supporting family unity and allowing families to live together in the country. Here are some key points about family sponsorship visa in Canada. Number 1, eligibility sponsorship relationships. Canadian citizens and permanent residents can sponsor their spouses, common law partners, conjugal partners, dependent children including adopted children, parents and grandparents. In some cases, other relatives like siblings or orphaned nieces or nephews may also be eligible. Number 2, sponsorship responsibilities. The sponsor must meet certain eligibility criteria, including being at least 18 years old, residing in Canada or intending to reside in Canada once the sponsored family member arrives, and demonstrating the ability to financially support the sponsored family members. The sponsor must sign an agreement with the Canadian government to financially support the family member or members they are sponsoring for a specified period. Number 3, application process. The sponsorship process involves both the sponsor and the sponsored family member or members submitting application to IRCC. The sponsored person must also meet certain eligibility criteria such as passing medical examination and security checks. Number 4, processing times. Processing times for family sponsorship visas can vary depending on factors such as the relationship between the sponsor and the sponsored person, the completeness of the application, and the volume of applications being processed by IRCC. Number 5, permanent residency. Once approved, the sponsored family members receive permanent resident status in Canada, which allows them to live, work, and study in Canada indefinitely. They also have access to social benefits such as health care coverage, similar to Canadian citizens. Family sponsorship is a cornerstone of Canada's immigration policy, emphasizing the importance of family unification and maintaining family ties. It allows families to live together in Canada and contribute to the country's social and economic fabric. If you like this video and believe it's helpful to you or someone out there, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so it can reach to more people. Who are eligible for this program and what are the requirements? The Family Class Sponsorship Program in Canada allows Canadian citizens and permanent residents to sponsor certain family members to immigrate to Canada as permanent residents. Here is an overview of who is eligible to be sponsored and the requirements for sponsors. Eligible sponsored relatives. Number 1, spouse, common law partner, or conjugal partner. So for spouse, he has to be legally married to the sponsor. On common law partner, this is a person who has been living with a sponsor in a conjugal relationship for at least 12 consecutive months. And on conjugal partner, in a relationship with a sponsor for at least 1 year, unable to live together due to circumstances beyond their control, e.g. immigration barriers or legal restrictions. Number 2, dependent children. Children must be under 22 years old and not married or in a common law relationship. Children over 22 may also be considered dependent if they are financially dependent on their parents due to a physical or mental condition. Number 3, parents and grandparents. Parents must be sponsored individually by the sponsor. Cannot be included in the same applications as other family members. Grandparents can be sponsored if the sponsor meets specific income requirements and undertakes financial responsibilities. Number 4, other relatives. In some circumstances, other relatives such as orphaned siblings, nephews, or nieces may be eligible for sponsorship if they meet specific criteria related to orphan status and age. Now, requirements for sponsors. Number 1, age and residency. They must be at least 18 years old, must be a Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or registered as an Indian under the Canadian Indian Act. They must reside in Canada or demonstrate intent to reside in Canada once the sponsored relative or relatives arrive. Number 2, financial support. Must meet minimum income requirements to demonstrate the ability to provide financial support for the sponsored relatives. They must sign an undertaking agreement with IRCC to financially support the sponsored relative or relatives for a specified period. Number 3, criminal record. Must not have a criminal record. Some exceptions apply based on the offense and how much time has passed since completion of the sentence. Number 4, undertaking agreement. Must agree to provide financial support for the sponsored relatives and repay any social assistance benefits received by the sponsored relative or relatives during the undertaking period. Number 5, other requirements. Must demonstrate the genuineness of the relationship with the sponsored relative or relatives and provide supporting documentation as required by IRCC. They must also ensure that the sponsored relative or relatives meet admissibility requirements related to health, security, and criminality. The in-depth process of application. The process of application for family sponsorship in Canada involves several steps, and here is an overview of the typical application process. Number 1, determine eligibility. Sponsor eligibility. Ensure you meet the eligibility criteria as a sponsor, e.g. age, residency, financial requirements. Sponsored person eligibility. Ensure the family member or members you wish to sponsor meet the eligibility criteria, that is the relationship and the admissibility. Number 2, gather documents. Collect all required documents for both the sponsor and the sponsored family member or members. This may include identity documents, e.g. passport, birth certificates, marriage certificates, or proof of common law relationship if applicable, proof of relationship with the sponsor, e.g. photographs and correspondence, police certificate if required, medical examination if required, financial documents to demonstrate income, e.g. tax assessments and employment letters. Number 2, complete application forms. Fill out the appropriate application forms for both the sponsor and the sponsored family member or members. The specific forms depend on the relationship and whether the sponsorship is for a spouse, child, parent, or grandparent. Ensure all information is accurate and complete. Incomplete applications may lead to delays or rejection. Number 4, submit application. Submit the completed application forms and supporting documents to Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC. Pay the required application fees. Fees vary depending on the type of sponsorship and the number of family members being sponsored. Number 5, processing. IRCC will process the application, which includes reviewing the forms, verifying documents, conducting background checks, and assessing the sponsor's ability to support the sponsored family member or members. Processing times can vary widely depending on factors such as the type of relationship, the completeness of the application, and the volume of applications being processed. The 6, decision. Once IRCC processes the application, they will make a decision and notify both the sponsor and the sponsored family member or members of the outcome. If approved, the sponsored family member or members will receive instructions on how to proceed with the landing as permanent residents in Canada. If refused, IRCC will provide reasons for the refusal, and sponsors may have the option to appeal in some cases. Number 7, permanent residency. Upon approval and completion of necessary steps such as medical examinations and background checks, the sponsored family member or members can become permanent residents of Canada. They will receive their permanent resident card, PR card, upon arrival in Canada, which allows them to live, work, and study in Canada indefinitely. Notes to note: it's essential to stay informed about current application procedures and requirements as they can change over time. Seek guidance from IRCC's official website or consult with an immigration lawyer or consultant for personalized advice and assistance. Following these steps diligently and ensuring all requirements are met will increase the chances of a successful family sponsorship application in Canada. If you need more clarification on this type of visa, please comment below the video or write us an email at fayexploreradvisors@gmail.com and we will be glad to help you. Thank you so much for watching my video. God bless you. I love you.